Issues that define our democracy. No filters, no distractions, just real talk. Political Platform, now on AIT, 9 to 10 a.m. every weekday. Stay informed, stay engaged, be part of the conversation.
AIT, sharing the African experience.
Hello and welcome to Political Platform. We are on Repower FM, Africa Independent Television, AIT, and the Political Platform YouTube channel. I'm Okiri Agbonsuremi, always glad to have you on the program, wherever you are listening to us. And we're going to take a little short detour from the security matters this morning and concentrate mainly on political issues. A lot of them happening by the minute, by the second around Nigeria. As much as we can, we will do analysis of some of them, as many as we can, and keep you up to date with some of the developments. Because you are also part of the process. The voter out there, whether you're a party member or not, at the end of the day, it is our decision to collectively make. Peter Obi is on the track to become the presidential flag bearer of the National Democratic Party, NDC, for the 2027 elections. He was screened last night at the National Secretariat of the NDC. The NDC closed the sale of expression of interest and nomination forms for the presidency on Sunday, with Peter Obi being the only aspirant who purchased the forms. In the African Democratic Congress, ADC, former Transport Minister Rotimi Amechi did not hold back as he criticized Atiku Abubakar, calling him a perennial failure in his bid to the presidency. Amechi's harsh comments during an interview suggest deeper issues within the ADC, especially since many believed he was going to run as vice presidential candidate alongside Atiku. In the All Progressives Congress APC, party leaders are working to minimize the fallouts, particularly the negative ones, from the contentious legislative primaries held across the country. Some aggrieved party members, particularly from the Southwest, have begun petitioning President Tinubu over allegations of favoritism by the governors. There was also a report yesterday that the president privately, because it was not public, criticized or aired his opinion that the governors overreached themselves in the way they did that. It is not clear, but so many people has reported it looked like a syndicated report, and they were even quoting what the president said, that he's not happy the way the governors went about it. But until we see him talk about it openly, we want to believe that he is still assessing what is happening there. And Saleh Maman, you remember him, the former minister of power, who was recently convicted and sentenced to a cumulative 75 years in prison in absentia for stealing 33.8 billion naira, was arrested by the EFCC in a hideout by around 3 a.m. in Kaduna. One house, they said somebody was hiding him there. They have now picked him up and probably taking him straight. I don't know which of the prisons they will take him to, because already sentenced. They'll take him to prison to begin his journey of serving out his terms. But many people are asking, What about the money? What happened to the money? Actor turned politician Desmond Elliot has revealed that Lagos legislators were misled to believe that President Tinubu was ordered. It was President Tinubu who ordered the impeachment of Speaker Mudashiru Obasa. You remember that saga? Elliot claims he was misled in the matter, which has now put him at odds with Chief of Staff to the President Femi Ajabe-Amila, because he has been substituted in his constituency, Surulere constituency, where we heard he was very, very popular. Somebody jokingly said yesterday he should call Kanayo for a role in the next movie, because he's still very good and he can add some political things to what he knows how to do best, because they will definitely shut the door against him. Our guest on today's program is an APC primary winner from Plateau State for the House of Representatives. We'll be giving you, or he will be telling us how he ran it, and what happened in the course of those primaries. You know, yesterday we brought somebody who was locked out in those states, city senator, who said they chased him out of the arena. That is our lineup. But let me, as usual, introduce my guests from the immediate right. I have Uju Eje. Uju Eje, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Ohiria.
The one of the issues that I want us to quickly talk about before we go into all these ones are the Gowon's book launch yesterday.
Yes.
The book launch, and then the Jonathan's was screened as PDP candidate yesterday. Somebody said, "Look, we have him."
Was he really screened? I think they just gave him the ticket. I mean, they had to boost their.
Let's begin with the
their reputation. Launch, yes, you know that book launch gave the vice president the opportunity to clear the air on some rumors that have been, trending for a very long time, because there was a time he was rumored to have been at loggerheads with the president, even trying to eliminate the president, and it was, people couldn't really come out to say.
And the mainstream media couldn't report it.
Yeah, couldn't really report it because, like I said, it was all rumors. But yesterday, he came out to say it himself, that he was even accused of attempting to kill the president. That was when people were saying, the president wanted to change him as his VP, and in the next election, he will not make it as vice presidential candidate. But here we are, it's in the open. We can talk about it now.
Yeah, we can talk about it, because the rumor was very strong. In fact, it was so strong that some persons came in with a kind of an analysis of how First Lady Remi Tinubu called him and said, "You want to kill my husband? Why do you want to kill my husband?" And all, so many things happening. But it does also show that sometimes when rumors are circulating around, we need to be very, very careful, because it could actually be originated by people who want to achieve particular objectives. Amici Anakwe is also on the platform this morning.
Thank you so much. The office of the, in quote, spare tire, that's the
deputy advisor.
Vice President, Deputy Governor is structured in such a way that if anything happens to the President or Governor, there's a beneficiary. So the motive is naturally there. So it's just it's just a fertile ground, waiting for air to blow the seeds on ground and before they germinate. And it's not the first with.
But why were people so vociferous?
Those that want to get close to not just the president, anybody in power or a position of authority and responsibility, those that engage in rumor, gossips will always get to you, tell you things that they want, think will excite you, so that they find favor in your eyes. So the people are already doing it. But it's not the same. It didn't start with this. President Tinubu and, of course, Kashim Shettima has been there, down with the deputy governors and their governors. It's been there. But the another rumor we heard that time was that the suspicion wasn't from one end.
It was from multiple ends.
Both ends. Both of them appear to be suspecting each other, because let me draw your attention to one thing. The residence of the vice president was completed with over 21 billion naira. The vice president is yet to move in.
To occupy it.
2 years after. The rumors I'm hearing, are revolving around that refusal to move in. So that suspicion is mutual. Let me stop here.
Let us be fair to you, Mustafa Mohammed, because you cover.
I think this is
you cover the vice president.
This is the most loyal vice president to his boss since the return of democracy. And then the rumor.
I don't know how you measure that.
Yes, because we knew what happened during Obasanjo and Atiku. You know how they fell out and cut off completely. Now, the vice president.
Jonathan was also loyal to
Yar'Adua. Yes. Now, if you look at the itineraries of the vice president, by 85 to 90% were to represent the president at various functions within Nigeria and outside, like the AU, the ONGA, going to various states, even receiving governors who are joining the party. So if there is any rancor, we know how bosses knock out their deputies. So some of these allegations are just the pigment in the imagination of those who want to benefit from that. I can give you a typical example. The Northwest, for example, since the return of the democracy, if you are talking about the quota of the northern Nigeria, they either get the presidency or they get the vice. Even Atiku, who became the vice from the Northeast, they found a way of bringing about problem between Atiku and his boss that, the boss knocked him off. Remember what recently, some few months back, happened in Gombe, when they went to unilaterally promote the issue of the president as sole candidate without even mentioning anything about the vice president. And the governors from the north...
So can we say now...
They protested.
Can we say now that it is possible that those rumors have died down and that Kashima is likely to be favored by the president?
So
he has the right.
Yes, the president has the right. But you see, those hawks who want to make sure that Kashim is out and they come in to the traditional setting will continue to do whatever thing they will do. And then the issue of the rumor of the refusal of the house. The first thing I did when I was posted to that place was to find out on the issue of this house, the alleged refusal to move in. I spoke with top officials. That building is exposed to the outside environment. It's a security risk for any VIP.
That house is inside the train.
But it's exposed. Let me finish. You see, that house, the location is exposed. It's not where he currently lives. And then at his level, he can decide where
he wants to live.
Exactly. So whatever rumor people are going to say, they are free to say. But the president knows his vice president better.
Mustafa, between us, you heard from Amechi how much was spent.
21 billion.
Over 20 billion was spent in building a house for the vice president. And was it built for one person to say, I don't want to live?
Was he consulted before that money was budgeted and built for him? That's another question.
There's no need to consult him. It's an official resident. Once he leaves office, he lives there. It's for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That house, yes, that house is located within the 3-arm zone. Not just the 3-arm zone. It's just between the villa, where the president lives, the Supreme Court, and the National Assembly. Is the most protected place in Abuja.
And
is
close
the most,
to the secretary.
Yes, and I'm using this opportunity to place a challenge on the presidency to tell Nigerians why, after 2 years, the vice president's residence has not been occupied by a sitting vice president. So that statement, if they should issue it, we clear all this out. One more thing, I just think that because the issue of the presidency, the tickets will be resolved now. After it, the next thing will be who will be the running mate. Perhaps this could be part of the reason why the vice president had decided to raise that issue, perhaps as a way of clearing the doubts that indeed I'm still available.
I'm available. I have no plan to kill the president, and I had never had any plan. The building, 20-something billion, is there lying fallow. Is it because the president, the vice president does not want to live there as Mustafa wants us to believe, or it is also because the president does not want anybody to, because those things are supposed to be decided from the secretary to the government of federation, who has the duty to.
But we need to ask this question of Syria. If the vice president living outside the 3 arms zone, he's living inside the villa. The other place that the vice president.
But they don't know he was living inside the villa before they built the house for him.
It's next to
Mustafa,
the president.
Mustafa.
I don't want us to trade the rumor.
Can I tell you?
Go ahead.
They knew there is a good house. That Akinola Agoda house is there. That
you can walk from one house to the other.
They also knew that there was an original house. There are houses there, but they committed money to building that house, over 20 billion. Somebody should occupy it. That is what the challenge they are making.
May I ask a question? Just like the ordinary Nigerian, a house built with 21 billion. What for? Are the beds made with gold?
For lizards,
are the chairs
and reptiles
made with gold? I mean, why would people spend such humongous amounts to build just one residence when Nigerians don't have houses out there?
I have somebody very close to me was saying, what do they do with the money when they steal it? All this money, they are stealing billions. What do they do with it? And I said, I said, let's get out. Let's go out and take you to somewhere. And we went out to a place they sell furniture. When he saw the tag on one of the furniture, 60 million naira for SETI. I said, you see what they do with the money?
No, be to sit down.
It's to sit down. So, Uju, there's a lot of money there's a lot of things to spend money on by government. Government spend the money. What we are asking here is, do we need to spend such for when people are hungry, we cannot buy medication in our hospital, we cannot have
IDPs.
good roads and all those things. But let's just quickly one minute on the entrance, because we saw it yesterday. Maybe we should take the visual of the former governor of Niger State talking about
Babangida.
Talking about the screening of former president Goodluck Jonathan coming in as candidate
by the PDP faction.
Let's listen to it. Let's take it. Let's take what he has got to say before we comment on it.
President became president, so we didn't see anything that needed screening, and therefore the party had given him waiver to come and start following. In other words, he has been declared and cleared as a candidate of the PDP for the presidential election, and that is President Jonathan.
Well, you can see that. You know, it was actually also just like the VP's case we're talking about. Rumor, is the president going to, former president going to contest? Now we have seen that a faction of the PDP led by Turaki has screened him, and we are told boldly that there's no contest. He's the one that will be taken out. There was a question I asked the other time. What is actually happening in the camp of the former president? Who is talking to him? Who is advising him?
Ohiri, I think the first thing we need to establish is he wasn't there physically. Of course, he wasn't screened. They said he had been president before, so that means he was qualified. But again, has he accepted? Is he in tandem with what this faction led by Saminu Turaki is doing? Because he has not come out to say anything. I think that the former president needs to clear the air, whether he's accepting this ticket, whether he wants to run, and on what platform he wants to run.
Okay, now, let's start from the known to the unknown. They said they have screened him. Who do you screen? Someone that has submitted a form.
Yes.
If there
presupposes that must have submitted
if there is no form, there is no screening.
That there was
so
no form.
They have not told us, but for there to be screening, Ohiri, there must be a form, a presidential nomination form, or at least expression of interest.
Assume it is waived. Don't even bring any form.
What are they screening? I think they
they didn't say they screened.
They said they have screened him and again giving him waiver. They have stamped it. That's one thing. The other thing is that the former president has kept silent. You know, sometimes they say silent is consent. So if he doesn't speak up today, tomorrow, then do your mathematics, arithmetic, the one where you choose to.
They offered it to him on a platter of gold. And when you look at those involved, some of them have been retired in politics. Not from politics, retired from politics long ago. And the former president has not made any public statement since after those youths went to protest and asked him to
when he said he's consulting.
He's consulting. And you know, those youths are from a particular political party.
NDP.
Those people actually did this thing to become relevant. I'm sure some of them are financially very down, whether former governors, ministers or not. I think they just need a little rehabilitation. That's just all.
Okay. Well, when we have a former president coming into, particularly my own concern is when you want to contest, are you contesting under a platform that we do not know the status? Wike is holding on to one side of is holding the leg on one side. Turaki is holding the other leg on the other side, and we do not know interpretation of the court of the Supreme Court.
Which one is authentic?
So we don't know
From
which.
my
is authentic.
sources, INEC will take a decision by this week.
Okay.
Certain names will be published on INEC website. You know, it's when they publish your name on their website that you know the one that is the authentic. So
They need to hurry up.
All right, we have so much to talk about. We'll take a little break now, a short break. We'll come back to all the issues we have mentioned, the screening of Peter Obi and the others, the NDC, the APC. We'll come to them. Don't go away. You are on Political Platform.
Ready for a bold new chapter in political discourse. This month of May, the conversations that matter most are stepping into the spotlight like never before. Political pressing, no filters, no distractions, just real talk. Political Platform, now on AIT, 9 to 10 a.m. every weekday. Premieres May 4th, 2026. Stay informed, stay engaged, be part of the conversation.
Thank you for remaining with us on Political Platform. You can't get it anywhere. Anywhere else. We give it to you. We do the analysis, tell you our mind, and we don't cover up. We look at both sides of the coin and look at the edges to see if there's anything we need to tell you. Now let's go to the camp of the NDC. Peter Obi, let's begin from there. He was the first and the last to pick the nomination forms on Sunday, and they closed the door. It does appear that the negotiation was very straightforward. Peter Obi is going to be our candidate. Now, we also know that Peter Obi is likely to pick Kwakwaso as he was screened yesterday. Was there any need for screening?
Well, just official normal screening. He's the sole candidate.
To fulfill our
To
righteousness.
pick the form.
Now, we have many people doing plenty of analysis. I mean, people say, we lost the steam. When I say we, I mean Nigerians, those who are enjoying the power play, who want to vote, that we lost the steam in having the opposition divided. We should have had the opportunity to decide and say, look, is it going to be this or is it going to be that? But now we have so many. Now we have Peter Obi being confirmed. We just told you about former president. He has not told us that he has accepted, but there are those who say he has to be on the ballot. We are sure the president, Tinubu, is going to be on the ballot. We are seeing a submission of some names by some political parties. So, and from Ibadan, we have Seyi Makinde saying he will also be on the ballot. Amechi Anakwe is running very, very fast to say, look, I am the best candidate for the NDC. Atiku is
Rotimi
Amechi. I mean,
not Amechi Anakwe. Amechi Anakwe, partyless.
Rotimi Amechi. He says that he's the best, and Atiku nobody should listen to him because he's not capable of running. He has run before, he has failed severally, but it's a serial failure. Now,
He also said that how would they think that he would accept the position of vice president after he paid money to buy the presidential ticket?
Okay, we'll come to that. But the issue now is, with all the scattered opposition, everybody, it does appear that what they are doing, from my own analysis, is that they are watering down the strength of the opposition against...
and of course, they are going to divide the opposition bloc. Let me give you a typical example. Peter Obi may not get much from the north, but from the south, the obedience, especially the southeast part of the south, and of course, even the southwest. Likely, he may repeat what happened in the last general election.
But can Kwankwaso help him?
Kwankwaso has only one state. I've said so many times that the name is so big, but you see, he doesn't have followership beyond Kano. He couldn't even corner Jigawa, Katsina, Kaduna that have bordered Kano in the last general election. And they have not made any efforts to expand the Konkosia movement followership. It's not like when Aminu Kano had a PRP, People's Redemption Party, and in 1979 they were able to put Balarabe Musa in Kaduna and Abubakar Rimi in Kano. The interest of Konkoso and Konkosia was to grab back the power from exactly.
Aminu Kano, is he outside of Fulani? Was he outside of Fulani?
You can't separate them. That's
Fulani. No, but I want to hear from Uju first. Let Uju come in because she.
I would disagree with Mustafa a bit because the North is politically sagacious. Why do I say that? The North can read what is going to happen in the next 10 years from today.
They read
and they prepare. They read it faster than the South. And they prepare. Even the literate North, they are politically sagacious. You can't take that away from them. And one thing I do know is that the North supports its own. So what I see that will pan out is they will look at all the candidates that are available to the North, all the positions that are available, and then they will stand behind the one that will give them the most benefits in terms of aspiration. That is what I see the North. And if that person is Kwankwaso, they will support him.
Hold on. Hold on. I know there's no monolithic North. Just hold on.
Exactly.
Now hold on. Now the other factor that probably will not even play up this time around is the Muslim ticket. Because the Muslim ticket was very strong in 2023, but now the North itself has seen that being a Muslim we has not benefited them the way they expected it to be. So the North may not actually say, oh, because Kasim is a Muslim, we are going to continue. But remember that even if Kwankwaso is not as popular outside of Kano as we want it to be, the larger North, they have, like Uju said, they have a way of reading the arithmetic.
Yes.
And it's a question of, do we still want Tinubu to continue? Are we happy with him? Do we like what he has done to us?
Oh, here, the issue is that most of the candidates, most that have who emerged will come from the South, except, of course, for the ADC article of Sage's Chibika Mechi, then it will be one northern candidate versus all the southern candidates. That tells you that it's the North that will determine the outcome. All the southern candidates may hold their strongholds. Then it tells you that the battleground will be in the North. And in the North, the votes are more in the Northwest, the K-states. They have the biggest votes. So I put it here on notice that it's the Northwest that will determine the outcome of the presidential election. And for Peter Obi...
Before you go to Peter Obi...
No, it's still late.
Let me link up. Let me ask you if you think an Atiku Abubakar's ticket, whether it is going to dilute the northern ticket with Kwankwaso also being on the ticket as vice president if Peter Obi picks him up. Because it might, like Mustafa said, we don't have a monolithic North anymore, a North that is in a block. They are divided along the lines politically and the way they see it. So it is not only the southern ticket, the votes that probably will be divided.
Yes, the northern votes will be divided because of the different interests. Kwankwaso made one statement.
But not sharply.
He made one statement in his recent interview that the leaders of the North decided that they will back
one candidate.
He mentioned Peter Obi. So the question is, who are these leaders he's referring to? Does it mean an interest within Northern Nigeria? But one thing that is very significant is that the Kwankwaso movement and the Obedient movement are the only two movements that are a machine, kind of, that you don't need money to really entice. And when you see two movements fused together, it becomes a huge threat. But the issue is that the Atiku structure, Atiku structure in the North is now along the elites. How he can unite the elites within that place, and even when he runs, if Kashim Shettima is chosen as the running mate to the president, battleground will be also in the Northeast, because they still wield considerable influence within Yobe and Borno State. So it will be an interesting
definitely. We will soon take our guest whenever he's ready for us. We will take him. We are looking at Darchong Bagos. He's a former member of the House of Representatives who won the APC primary elections for Just South, Just North Federal Constituency. We will be taking him shortly. Just your last comment so that we can.
Exactly. When you are talking about the Northwest, Kano had a lot of population, but when you put Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, Jigawa, all APC, including Kaduna, together, the population, they knock up the population of Kano. And then let us not forget for a very long time that the monolithic North died with the deaths of Sardauna and Tafawa Balewa. Whoever is coming to tell you that there's only one North, he's trying to deceive people for the sake of his political interest. There's no monolithic North. Why should somebody who is not a Hausa Fulani from Kogi be appointed by a president, and then you hear people saying that he's not a core Northerner? That's an insult. A Birom person, an Angas, Kare, somebody from Bachama can wake up today and become a president from the North. They are all Northerners and they are all Nigerians. So let's call it.
Just before you come in, I want you to react to that after my intervention. If you say there's somebody from Kogi, Sunday Awoniyi was from Kogi. Was he ever regarded as a core Northerner? We have to be very. There
was no discrimination when Sardauna was there. Immediately Sardauna passed
he
away.
was not just a personal assistant or somebody who was close to the establishment then. He was also a Christian. Sunday was his name. And now the so-called core Northerner was not a flow from the south. It was a flow from the north themselves. They know themselves, we know ourselves, we know those who are the original northern people. So if we say core Northerner, if you take Bishop Kuka as presidential candidate in the north, we did not take him as a core Northerner. These are things that it has religious coloration,
it has that tribal,
it has ethnic, it has tribal things. So yes, you may want to tell us that everybody is the same, but everybody is not the same in the north.
I didn't say everybody is the same because there are people in the north who thought every good political appointment and goodie is there. That's right. When Buhari came, he appointed service chiefs from the minority in the north.
All right, let me take your
the point I'm trying to add is that the north, even when they are divided, are not sharply divided, and you could see them moving in one direction more than any other section of the country. If the North is in favor of a candidate, 80%, if not 90% of the North will favor that candidate. Right. They usually speak more with one voice than any other section.
We will not stop talking about the primaries of the APC that came up. A lot of injuries. I mean, blood nose all over the place.
Gunshots in Ondo State.
in Ondo State. But the bloody nose was not actually the blood I'm talking about, the real blood. It is the political bloody nose that was given to so many people. In Edo State is
some form of uppercut.
Yeah, Edo State, some people are
trying to recover.
I don't think they can recover from this. Yamu not getting the ticket of the APC.
He was so confident.
He was so confident. He said he had won. Down central in Delta, Omo Agege with
claimed victory.
Yes, he claimed victory. He was so sure, but from what we saw later from the headquarters of he's out. So, but let's go to
by a wide margin too.
Let's go to the north in Plateau State to meet Darchong Bagos. He's a former member of the House of Representatives who won the APC primary elections for Just South and Just North Federal Constituency. Thank you so much for joining us. You don't have a bloody nose, and you have a successful.
No, but he had a bloody nose before. You know, he was one of the lawmakers who won that the court disqualified in the in 2023.
Let's meet you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning, the panel there. I know. I'm happy that you even have Amechi as a proposed presidential candidate. By the way, you know. So maybe AIT will produce one of the candidates one day, Red Power Party. So
let's get down to the business now. Plateau State was very interesting for these primaries. The issue of rotation played a very prominent role in the choice of candidates and the consensus that, of course, many consensus that were reached. Take us through what happened in Plateau State, your constituency, and how it played out.
Yeah, well, this is the first time that the new generation politicians are facing direct primaries. And
network seems some
I think the network is there. I hope he can get back to us as soon as possible. When he gets back to us, we'll be able to put him. It must be network wherever.
Amechi, you spoke about rotation played a key role.
Yes.
How exactly?
Yes, you know, for federal constituencies, as House of Representatives constituencies and senatorial constituencies, especially at the states, there are strong rotational principle. For some places, you do it once, some others twice. Though at one point in time, some of them they push out. He's back now.
I think he's back. And let us allow him to continue. I think about the network. Sorry, Honorable, go ahead, please.
yeah, so the process in Plateau, like I said earlier, this is a new experience for all of us. And so it was peaceful in as much as you still have some being discontent in the sense that this is like a miniature general election. I know the nature of managing the peace on the plateau, so a lot of decisions were taken to be able to convince electorates and in courts who are the party members as the delegates to be able to manage the process peacefully. So we came out successfully in as much as you won't shy away that you still have people that have some level of discontentment in one or two areas. But by and large, we were able to maintain the peace on the plateau through these elections.
Now, one of the areas many people and those who are concerned about peace on the plateau is how politicians have been handling the peace on the plateau, how they have been working together. It does appear that you were there before. You are coming back again, making the effort to come back again if you are successful with the elections. How do you think your choice and the play out from this can be a way to resolve the crisis, recurring crisis in Plateau State?
Here he goes again, the network.
It does appear that the network is gone again. I was just wondering.
You know, he has always been very, very passionate about his people. He has always done everything as a lawmaker to see that the crisis you mentioned is resolved. Amechi knows about that. He has made so many moves. He was in the house for 2 times before this one that he's attempting to come back. And I believe that, well, maybe this time he will be able to make a real headway.
I also, it also takes me, Mustafa Mohammed, to the issue of what are the issues in the campaigns at the various areas. For instance, is insecurity a factor? Are we looking at the economy? Are we looking at from place to place, particularly the pockets of elections for representatives, both at the local at the local level, at the state assembly, the federal house, the Senate. And the issue in Plateau, will it be who can help us? Who can help us find a solution? The issues across Nigeria, will it be who can stop insurgency? Who can stop some of these crises we have talked about copiously on this program?
The Nigerian people have been used to unfulfilled promises by politicians in the past 20, 22 years. And those who are 70, 80 have also listened to campaigns, before and during the independence and after independence, the First Republic and what have you. The politicians in the other republics were able to fulfill their promises, unlike those who came from 1999 till date. And of course, the hope of people from Plateau State, number one, you have to agree with me that they want peace on the plateau. This ethno-religious killing cycle of
settler and
wahala. One group will attack the other will come overnight and attack this. You hardly see any arrest and conviction of those who have carried out the killing. Even those who killed General Awele and killed General Alkali, a retired military officer. I'm not sure those people have been convicted. And of course, arrests have been made over the years. What happened to those who were arrested? The government and our laws need to hit very hard. But coming back to the issue of campaign, especially in the rural areas of northern Nigeria, it's not just the Plateau State. The issue of basic necessities of life, primary healthcare
but do they count? That's my worry. Do they really count?
People only vote because of tribe, community.
That's exactly what I'm looking at. Because
there's no feedback mechanism. They don't challenge people when they fail.
Move the president made that will be to his advantage. The massive defection of politicians to the APC, especially in areas that he was weak during the last election. Plateau, for instance, you recall Plateau State. Now, the PDP structure, including Dachong Bagos, including the governor moved into APC. So you could say that majority of the politicians in Plateau State are with the APC now. So it remains to be seen what the opposition parties can bring to the table. Muslim ticket was what made the minority not to move away from the APC, and it's interesting why the majority not went for Muslim. This time around, you see the majority not move away from the Muslim, and the minority moving. So for places like Plateau, places like Benue, where most politicians, also in Benue, are all in the ruling party, to be a Herculean tax for the opposition party.
And I'll continue to ask the question with you. Do these issues today matter in Nigeria? And if they don't matter, what are the issues that matter? Is it what Mustafa has said, that it is tribe, it is pockets of pocket money, bag of rice, and whatever our leaders say?
What Mustafa said sadly is the reality, because many times that you try to engage the ordinary Nigerian in a conversation, you find that they complain about the harsh economic condition, they complain about so many things they are not happy about, but they are not willing to shift from their mode of voting. They will still tell you, look, the one that gives me 500 naira, that's a person, whether he's a goat or human being, I'll collect, you see. I think that the psyche of the average Nigerian has been battered along that line, and they need to start a rethink. Maybe this time that the economic hardship is much, that will reset their mind to begin to look at individuals that can offer them their aspirations and yearnings, instead of just looking at people because they belong to their religion or ethnic nationality. That would be very, very, very
Now we have a few issues to still talk about, but we'll take our mails so we can quickly do with the mails. Get your reactions to some of the issues we raise on the platform, and we begin to look at some of those very salient things that we have that we need to quickly take a look at. That is your mails, what you tell us under our citizens' perspective that we always love to share. Let's take our mails.
Emmanuel Nkama from Alimosho says, while armed bandits, terrorists are on the loose, killing innocent Nigerians, kidnapping substantial numbers of school children, and beheading a teacher, politicians are busy conducting the primary elections to enable them contest the upcoming 2027 general elections and perpetuate themselves in office. Here is calling on the federal government, the military, and other security agencies to do more towards finding a lasting solution to the insurgency in Nigeria, while efforts should be intensified to rescue the Oyo State students and others still in the captivity of the kidnappers. And Alamin Lawal from Camden Town, London, says, Rotimi Amechi is not even politically informed on this issue. Historically, Atiku Abubakar has lost major presidential primary contests within both the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress. Atiku also contested against Buhari in 2019, despite both candidates being from the same zone, northern Nigeria. So the criticism Atiku and his allies are making today against same zone candidacy and zoning appears selective, because the same principle was not consistently applied in previous elections.
And we come back to Abuja, where Wadai Yahaya is writing on the recently conducted party primaries by the ruling All Progressives Congress. If not reviewed, he says, or reversed, would definitely pose danger to Nigerian democracy. Like I have said before, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the first pro-democracy civilian to ever emerge as president since 1999. As such, we expect him to show examples and not allow anti-democratic culture under his watch. Conclusively, I urge the national leadership of the APC to restore the hope of their members before it becomes their albatross. And we end with Ugochukwu Godwin from Lagos, and he says, this knee-jerk alteration in our constitution every dispensation is a waste of time and resources. We need a brand new constitution. It is our ground norm. In the new constitution, we don't need bicameral legislature. We don't need security vote sharing to states. We don't need immunity for elected officials. Mr. President, we don't just need state police. We want a total overhaul of this system of sharing monies without dividends to citizens.
Thank you very much. Keep your mails coming, citizens' perspectives. We want to hear from you. We want to also share your views. And for those who have been writing and probably we are unable to take it, please continue to write. And some of your mails also is instructive to us to do it the same, the way that you want us to do it. And we take your advice and we take your recommendations on the way we run the program, because we want you to be fine with us. We want you to enjoy the show. Two things. Quick things before we go, because our time is almost up. We cannot go back. Oh, are we sure we can take Bago? Okay, let's just quickly take one or two questions of him, and then we wrap up. Okay, I'm told he's gone.
The network is really dealing with us.
The network is actually dealing with him. They didn't give him a bloody nose during the election.
And the network is doing that.
The network is doing that. Let's quickly make some comments on two issues. The Saleh Mama, that the man that was like Saddam Hussein was found in a hole.
Yes. And of course, he's where he should be now, according to the law.
Did he think that he was going to be hiding?
That's why I wonder, who are his advisors? He was on time with some people protecting him in Rigasa, Kaduna State. The best thing for him,
near the train station.
Yes, is to submit himself and serve his prison sentence while he appeals to the appellate court. It's unfortunate that he was hiding like a rat, and he has to be smoked out.
Maybe he just wanted some days of freedom before surrendering.
But his prison year is going to count from the day
he's well off. He stay in Kuje prison in Abuja. We'll give him a lot of.
If they take him to Kuje prison,
well, that's where they would likely.
I hope they take him to either Bama prison, if it's still functional or prison in so some of these hottest places.
They take him near close to where Nnamdi Kanu is.
This man is from Taraba, and we all know the scandals surrounding Mambila Hydro. It's very shameful, it's very sad, it's pathetic that an elder statesman like this, if you wish to call him, will dip his hands into the resources that would turn around the power sector in Nigeria.
Yeah, let's also quickly just take the advice to Desmond Elliott. I saw it. They said, look, just call Kanayo. You can do better now that they have shut the door against you in the Lagos State House of Assembly.
He can still transform Nigeria through acting.
It's a very credited,
maybe you can have a beautiful movie title. How not to challenge your boss.
But the excuse he was giving, he thought he signed. He tell it to
that excuse, we have to look deep into it.
Yes, we shouldn't just dismiss it.
He said, and we must not wave it out. He said he thought the instructions, the order was given by the president. That shows you that this idea of leader giving instruction is still very, very deep in our political.
I see it as a drowning man trying to clutch onto anything to survive from.
No.
He's a ranking member of the House of Assembly in Lagos State. He understands the politics. He's an insider. He's well placed enough to know whether the call came from the president or elsewhere.
I think that this particular case of Obasa was very, very confusing. I know that the president would not want to do away with a man like Obasa, who has very strong grassroots support towards social, the Agege and the places where the population is huge. But in this case, it was rumored that both the husband and the wife were involved on the two sides, and as such, it would be difficult for somebody to really discern.
You know where I got confused to maybe likely to agree with Amechi that he's just looking for where to hang his.
Where husband and wife were involved.
Is that as a member of the Lagos State House is it the third time he should have access to Gbajabiamila, who asked him, who supported him to be, and
who called him, and they agreed that he would go twice, renounce his position, and he refused to do so.
So, and again, I also believe that the structure of the Lagos environment, he should have access to the president himself, because the president is from Lagos State. He's the one that brought all of them up. If he doesn't have access to him directly, he should have access to him indirectly to say, let me know the feelers from. Then he signed, and he rebuffed Gbajabiamila twice, according to Gbajabiamila, who said he called him 2 times, and until he was
the voice of the president, the closest man to the president, telling you the president does not want it, and you still went ahead, and after you have been silent, I didn't know that it came from the president. Tell it to the boss.
I know that these things can be confusing at times. So here, please, let's also lend our voices in calling on the federal government and the military and security agencies to do something about the kidnapped Oyo State students and the ones kidnapped in Borno and every other person still in the captivity of kidnappers.
I agree with you. We cannot stop our voice from being added to those well-meaning Nigerians who are urging that the government and Nigerians take urgent steps not too late to resolve this one, to prevent these recurring incidents of abductions that we all throw our hands up, and then at the end of the day, it is, are they giving them money? Are they not giving them money? And it is not just this mass adoption or kidnap that is on. Every day in Nigeria, every day people are collecting money to release 1 or 2 persons from kidnappers. Whether in the south, in the north, it's just going on everywhere. In Abuja here, it is going on. How can we stay in a country where people are not really too free to do what they have got to do? And if they say you are singing, you are raising alarms, you are unnecessary alarms about it. It is not for us to sound alarms, but it is for us to call on the government to do something.
Do what is right.
And that's how we have been wrapping. We'll be wrapping up the program this morning. Political Platform will be back tomorrow. On behalf of my colleagues, I want to ask you to stay out of trouble. My name is Okiria Agbonsuremi. Thank you for staying with us.